Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in. I just want to thank you for your support and your kind words always. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's get this show started. Really funny thing happened, and I want to thank Eric H526, and I want to thank all the people who follow me on social media, which I'm about to protest. So I got suspended on Twitter. They sent me a Twitmo, and I got suspended on Twitter. Why? Why did I get suspended? Why? Some person who has written, I don't know, it has to be like 7 or 8 hit pieces on me, something like that, insulted me, called me a lunatic, and then I responded. Okay, he doesn't get suspended, but of course, like first grade stuff. But then I get suspended. Anyway, I'm thinking of, I have 26,000 followers on Twitter. I'm thinking of just deactivating my Twitter account. So yeah, I'm just thinking of deactivating the whole thing because it doesn't my writing and my YouTube channel. It's like if we're to go like next week on CNN or something, it would be shared regardless of whether or not I have an account on Twitter. So I deactivated my Facebook account, and so I don't have to deal with Facebook. And so I might very soon just deactivate my Twitter account. I want to see what happens this week. Already, this is a great live stream. So I didn't share this out myself, and it's still doing great. So I just think that there's no 80% of Twitter. Really quick before we get to the Mueller report and to my super chat, thank you so very much for always supporting me and helping my voice grow. I just think that I've spent years on Twitter, and it's addicting and it's unhealthy, and I've just, because I'm somewhat controversial, people I get into arguments, with other journalists, and it's not productive. And I've seen it, like, it's a place where people want to preach. It's a place where people, the only good thing about Twitter is that you can share information, and you can share articles, and you can share what's going on, or you can see, like, I guess you can feel the zeitgeist. But if I ever, because this guy, I couldn't control myself. Do you understand? I couldn't, I'm actually, I don't even use profanity anymore on my YouTube channel, but I couldn't control myself. Do you understand? And it actually felt good to tell him off. But this guy writes hit pieces on me, but within a second, I'm talking, this is like the bias of Twitter. I'm talking within a second, I got suspended because he couldn't stand me telling him off. But from the comfort of his laptop, he just writes, 6, 7, 8 hit pieces on me. But he can't take the heat. He likes to dish it out, but he doesn't like, getting a response back. So, and this is just like one of many writers who've written, tried to marginalize my voice, but in the end, it helps me. So anyway, I got suspended, and we'll see. I might very soon just deactivate my Twitter. If I have to go back on Twitter, I can always, I guess, do so. I'm on Minds, and Gab, and I have a BitChute channel, obviously. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the Mueller probe is set to be finished by around February. People are getting sentenced, which Andrew McCarthy means that it's ending. When people start getting sentenced, um, he's not going to find another. He's not going to find another suspect or another possible link to Trump-Russia collusion. Before we get to the actual Mueller probe, you have to understand something, okay? And this is you have to understand something about Mueller, Democrats, 2019, Trump. Okay, when he does something, like for example, I offered to debate this guy. He doesn't want to debate me. I would love to talk to him about um, bringing home 10,000 Americans, okay, from Syria and Afghanistan. That's an amazing thing. There's no way to disregard that. You are going to have thousands and thousands of Americans back home with their children. What kind of human being, and I'm talking about the average Democrat, I'm talking about people like Hillary Clinton, what kind of human being says, oh, well, that's not a good accomplishment, that's not a good achievement, to bring home Americans from quagmires, from civil wars, from conflicts that are never ending, from interventions that have no end in sight, that have led to failure and new threats. What kind of person doesn't even think because they care more about climate change, yet President Obama allowed a company to drill in the Arctic. President Obama presided over the largest expansion of oil and gas of any president in U.S. history. President Trump is bringing home Americans from these devastating conflicts. That's what President Obama promised. President Trump is delivering. How many promises did we get from Obama? And Trump's delivering. So President Trump is bringing home Americans. You have men and women coming back home. You have men and women who are going to be with their children, with their wives and husbands, with their families. How is this not a human achievement? How, and especially if you're a liberal, how is this not an achievement? Samuel Stafford! Thank you, Samuel. Happy New Year, HA. Keep up the great work. God bless you and your family this holiday season and into the new year. God bless you. God bless you and your family, Samuel, and everyone who has had a kind word from me, who said, God bless me. God bless you too. Thank you so very, very much. That's another thing. That's another thing. It's like the more that the liberal establishment imposes their neuroses upon people, the less you hear things like God bless you, the less you hear things like Merry Christmas. Now, I'm a Jewish American, but I love saying Merry Christmas. It makes me feel good. I'm not offended by it. Why would I be offended by it? I don't think that's ridiculous. There's nothing offensive about saying Merry Christmas. It feels good. Okay? It's part of American culture. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Okay? So it's these neuroses that the like liberals have. And that's why I'm I'm about to give Twitter the big finger, because it's just like it's like first grade. The guy calls me a lunatic. The guy spends time hating on me, and I respond back, and I'm sent to Twitter Alcatraz. It's and by the way, and see, the thing is, I'm agnostic pretty much philosophically. I'm agnostic. I hope God exists. I don't know 100%. I hope he exists. I'm just going to roll with, hopefully he exists. But I'm not going to say categorically 100% he exists. I hope he does. I hope he does. I actually have this story when I was younger. And this is why I get so upset with the idiots online who call anyone they disagree with Nazis. They've utilized the suffering and the murder of they've utilized the suffering of Jewish history the and just world history, to just paint any any um opposition just because Trump is president as that word, oh, Nazi, Nazi. One of the one of the reasons I'm more agnostic philosophically, and I still enjoy saying God bless you, and I'm still rolling with, I hope, I'm hoping God exists. I would like God to exist. I do believe that there are elements of life that prove that, show that, hey, there is a God. But one time when I was very younger, a lot younger, doesn't make any sense. One time when I was a lot younger, um, I must have been like around 7 or 8. I was at a synagogue for maybe Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah, and the synagogue I went to back in the 80s, it was mostly Holocaust survivors. So I really know like what they went through, and to see like millennials use the term to just because they're so cool, and they're going to college, and or they're working at the coffee shop, and they're like, oh man, I'm storming the beaches of Normandy, and like fighting like the conservatives and Tucker Carlson's like Himmler. um One, Luke St. Martin, thank you. And Samuel Stafford, again, thank you so very, very much, Samuel. But one thing that I'll never, ever, ever forget is this elderly gentleman, and everyone, like I said, probably like 60-70% of the synagogue was Holocaust survivors. And this elderly gentleman was crying near the exit, and he just was like breaking down and crying. And I was like, oh man, I was like, I was just a little kid, and I was like seeing this guy cry, and I was like, oh my God. And he just kept saying, I can't believe, I can't believe, I can't believe. And he was talking about, I just can't believe in God. Because, we at the synagogue, obviously, we spent like 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever praying. And then there was like a sermon, just like in church. And, obviously the whole thing is like, God this, God that, okay. And he was breaking down, he was weeping, he couldn't believe in God. And I said, well, you have to. And then, like, in my head, because I went to a religious Hebrew school, I was like, oh no, you have to believe. I was like, well, how come you're crying? And he had lost his whole family in the Holocaust. He had lost his whole family, his kids, his wife. And obviously he never, how could you, you know forget that? I don't know if he I don't know if he got remarried. I assume, because he was, you know obviously, still, what, it was the 80s, so like how could you ever get over that? So he was saying he couldn't believe because of what he had seen, the depths of barbarism, what humanity is capable of in terms of pure evil. And so, anyway, I kind of always remember that, saying, well, my God, I understand his viewpoint. I could see his viewpoint for what he went, because of what he went through, why he wouldn't believe in God, or why he would be very skeptical. Because if anyone has a reason not to believe in God, it's a person who's actually seen a genocide or survived a genocide, whereas his family did not survive. So anyway, so I always remember that man's story and what he went through, and that also is something I think of when I hear the word God. But Rumi Kalas, thank you so very much, as always. Rumi, hope you and everyone here had a great Christmas. Here comes 2019. What kind of year do you think it will be? Rumi and Samuel, thank you. Rumi, 2019 is going to be a great year. 2019 is going to be a great, great year. It's going to be It's going to be a really, really wonderful, wonderful, wonderful year. Um, I think that ultimately it's going to be. I think that ultimately it's going to be a year where Trump fights back. I think ultimately it's going to be a year where Trump has the ability to fight back. So I'm hoping for a special counsel, but I think that what needs to take place is either the end of the Mueller probe, or there's a special counsel that happens as the Mueller probe is winding down, which is what takes place here, which is what's taking place right now. The Mueller report is going to come out soon. It's not going to have anything. It's not going to have. It's not going to. So the Mueller report will come out, and there is no evidence that Trump worked with Russia There's no evidence, number one, that Facebook ads or Twitter bots influenced even one vote. What happens in social media is when you are confronted with the opposite of your viewpoint, you don't just listen to that person. You actually retreat back into your original vantage point. Press 1 right now. So Rumi, thank you so very much. Beautiful name, Rumi. You know I love that name. Rumi Collis, thank you. And Samuel Stafford, thank you. Press 1 if you retreat back and you're ready to defend your viewpoint. If a person on Facebook or a person on Twitter wants to come at you and say you're 100% wrong and you're immoral or unethical or whatever, press 1 if you've actually gotten into too many arguments with people on Facebook and Twitter because you don't agree with their viewpoint. Is this mic on? Okay, yes. There you go. There you go. Press exactly. So people it's like you don't here's a fact. How's this statement? And here's the fact. There is no evidence that Trump colluded with Russia. That is a fact. There's no evidence. The circumstantial evidence being used is absurd. Absolutely absurd. You have no money. You have no money trail. You have evidence that was purchased by Hillary Clinton. So CrowdStrike is the only company to look at DNC servers. CrowdStrike, by the way, has never stated that Trump worked with Russia. So that's number one. Number two, you have a CrowdStrike assessment of DNC servers that says, on this date, it was hacked, and then Russian intelligence officials did this. The indictment of Russian intelligence officials by Mueller is based not on U.S. intelligence. It is based on a corporation that was hired by the DNC and Hillary Clinton and they're the ones who took images and pictures of the DNC servers and gave those images and that information to the U.S. government. Trump could just end the whole thing, could have ended the whole thing a year ago. He could have ended the whole thing a year ago and said, look, what is it that you're looking at? There is no crime here. And then they would have had to prove the existence of a crime. Instead of and I think that he can't do that because he would throw the entire government under the bus. That's the thing. I think that he can't do that because he would throw the entire government under the bus. This is a charade people want to believe. It's a charade that people want to believe, and the government thinks so highly of itself that because an investigation was started by James Comey and Peter Strzok, who hated Trump, who wanted to stop Trump, that alone should have ended the whole thing. You have the lead investigator in the Clinton email investigation who hated Trump. That alone should have warranted a special counsel. How does a special counsel not, so when they say like trust Huber, trust Sessions, how does Huber not start a special counsel when Peter Strzok says, I'm gonna stop Trump? We got a special counsel from James Comey's memos that are complete gossip, but we don't get a special counsel from Peter Strzok saying we'll stop Trump, from Peter Strzok deleting 5 references to gross negligence. How does that work? How does that work? Dillaville, you've become my sanity alert. I do miss the profanity alerts, though. Dillaville, thank you. Dillaville, thank you so very, very much. It is sanity for me as well, because when I speak to you, Dillaville, and Rumi Kallis, and Samuel Stafford, and everyone here, it's it helps my mind cope, because when I type in Trump on Google, it's an alternate universe. We don't talk about peace between North and South Korea. We don't talk about the fact that Kim Jong-un might actually visit Seoul, South Korea. We don't talk about all of these things. We don't talk about the fact that 10,000 Americans are coming home to their families. What kind of person? I can't even, this is why I can't stand Twitter. I might deactivate it within, I don't know. I might either wait my suspension or deactivate it before then. So this writer did the best thing ever for me. Because people like, people are, they don't want to accept reality, and they have to create an alternate reality. They have to create an alternate reality around Trump, because Trump is just a human being with a flawed personality. If you want to, I actually like his personality mostly. I say lay off the women. From a semantic, in terms of insults, don't insult women. That's it. And that can actually be seen as sexist. But Trump is an equal opportunity, insulter. Exactly. Alexander M. Gonzalez. Exactly. Facebook and Twitter. I might just, and I have 26,000 people on Twitter, but it's like, it doesn't really, it doesn't do anything. Like you can't, I can write a statement, and then they'll get like, I've had like 1,000 retweets before, hundreds of retweets. Who cares? Like at the end of the day, I get into more arguments on Twitter than anything else. And ask yourself, like, YouTube is great. It's not just because I'm a YouTuber I'm saying this. YouTube is fantastic. YouTube is a great place. You can actually just find what you like and enjoy. You know what I like to do? I look at interviews of old Michael Jordan interviews with Jim Brown, or Stan Musial. Okay, type in Stan Musial interview, and you get Stan the Man. I mean, you can, or whatever. You can actually, there's Eisenhower. Walter Cronkite interviewed Eisenhower on the beaches of Normandy. It was like, it's very emotional. I mean, YouTube is a great place to just relax and unwind. Okay. Twitter and Facebook are not great places to relax and unwind. Twitter and Facebook are places where, it's mostly arguments. And to think that Twitter and Facebook influenced the election when every single person said she would win. Every single person said she would win. Every single person. Almost every single person, aside from me and Styx and others. I mean, the Electoral College, they were saying she was going to win. And suddenly they have no evidence that a Twitter bot or a Facebook ad. And by the way, these Facebook ads are hilarious. Bernie without his shirt off. Press 2 if you would vote for Bernie Sanders because he was shirtless. Press 2 or no. Press no, no. Press 2 if press 2 if you don't think Bernie Sanders shirtless is enough for you to vote. Oh, whatever. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Do you ever look at a shirtless Bernie Sanders and say, "Oh my God, Bernie is so hot. Bernie Sanders, shirtless. Oh my God, Jill Stein. Oh, Russia, Russia." You don't say that. Now they're trying to say Jill Stein is a Russian agent. Exactly. Real news now. What about the $1 million spent by Correct the Record? No, a note easily. I took like at least 100,000, 200,000 of that money myself. You know, on when I was writing a lot and like my articles were going viral, I mean, everyone was arguing about them. Everyone, it's like Reddit would go like they would be like 5, 6, 700 comments on Reddit. Oh, AJ Goodman again. AJ Goodman, he's crazy. He's crazy. He said Bernie would win. Well, in a fair primary, he would have easily defeated Clinton. But I mean, here's sick bag, bombastic bushkin. But I mean, it's like, what kind of stupid idiot morons would say that Russia wanted Jill Stein? Poor Jill Stein. Why pick on Jill Stein? I mean, really? Like you have to go there? You already now. Do you know what is happening, ladies and gentlemen, on the left? Because I have friends who are obviously great writers on the left and great YouTubers, and I see what's going on. They're attacking Bernie Sanders. Oh, you know what's taking place? They're saying Beto O'Rourke is better than Bernie Sanders on the left. Now I'm upset with Bernie for a lot of things, but I mean, if I was on the left, I certainly wouldn't jettison Bernie for Baracho Beto. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm voting for Trump. 100%. I love Trump. But I'm saying, if I was still the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, you know how offended I would be that people like Beto O'Rourke more than Bernie Sanders? Can you imagine that? Baracho Beto, the drunk skateboarder? Beto O'Rourke is um, a younger, more just marketed version of Bernie. And that's less authentic. Beta. Beta. So, you know, I mean, but that's the thing. That's the thing. There's so much hate on social media. People like I can't stand when people are like, social media is the wave of the future. Social media is so great. Social media this. Social media this. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not because you're still going to call people on the phone. Okay. How, President Trump? You still trust me? or you're still going to email them. You're still going to email them. When journalists want to write a hit piece on me, okay, what they've done is they've emailed me, "Hey, H, how are you? I'm writing from the Daily Beast. Wondering if you want to just give me your thoughts on something. Or we're doing an expose on Bernie writers. Really, your best friend." You know what? People have reached out to me. Journalists have reached out to me through via email, and they're like, "Hey, HM, I'm doing a story. I want to find out how you became, you know, a Bernie supporter or Trump supporter." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? You know what you can do? You know what you can do? Once you write out your questions via email, and I will answer them via email." Okay? "Oh no, can I call you? Can I call you? I want to call you. I want to talk to you. Are you sure you can't just answer the phone? Yes, Scoop. I'm just going to answer. I'm just going to call. I'm just going to allow you to twist anything I say, dummy. Why would I do that? It's so stupid. Whenever a journalist wants to interview you, over the phone, do not do it. That's a recipe for disaster. Just simply say, look, you want to interview me? Here are my give me questions. I'll write you answers. And this way, if you twist my words, I can say, here are the answers. Here are the questions. It's all written down. But see, that's the point. They don't. It's public relations. That's what George Orwell talked about. It's public relations. They want to, with Mueller, with Trump, to a tiny microscopic extent with me. Papa D, speaking of survivors, Jacob Eisenbach is a family acquaintance. Papa D, thank you. Thank you, Papa D. Yeah. Thank you, Papa D. And God bless you, and Merry Christmas, and thank you for always watching. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Eric H526, thank you. But see, here's another also, like, the only thing Latino about Beto O'Rourke is the name Beto. His name's Robert. So they don't even, like, their whole thing is, oh, these white guys are bad. But then they're like, oh, well, we can get a white guy with a Latino name. That's okay for the liberal establishment. And meanwhile, they don't even understand the hypocrisy. They don't get the concept of hypocrisy. They think it's called whataboutism. They don't get it. They don't understand. Okay. Meanwhile, I interviewed evil HA, interviewed a wonderful woman named Sima Hernandez. She's a wonderful woman. She's intelligent. She's actually did not have any of the media. Actually, the media did everything possible to, like, not cover her. She got hundreds and thousands of votes. Okay. Baracho Beto spent $78 million. Okay. Skateboarding. And it's a travesty. Have you seen him? Have you seen this guy skateboard? Okay. It's a joke. I could crawl faster than he skateboards. And he was like, yeah, doing ollie, man. Look at me. I'm so cool. Dude, radical. Yeah. It got it got 300,000 views on YouTube. It's like, so what? I haven't skateboarded in 20 plus years. No, probably 30 years. Okay. I can skateboard better than him. Baracho Beto. And they love him now. The guy's Irish American, I think. Yeah. And he's now the closest thing to Latino that, a Joe Biden type guy could get to. And they're like, oh, it's okay. Rehoboth Farm. So, I mean, it's like they don't understand hypocrisy. And all of this Mueller report will not link Trump to Russia collusion. There is no Russia collusion. There's no Russia collusion. He didn't collude with Russia. He didn't collude with Russia for Facebook ads. It didn't happen. That did not happen. She won the popular vote, and because she outspent him 2-1. It did not happen. There's no evidence that he worked with Russia. There's no evidence at all. There is evidence that Hillary Clinton used a private server outside the United States government and transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. Brian Murphy, exactly. Exactly. And my money's on you. My money's on you, not Beto. Beto O'Rourke talks like this. And if you just listen to him, sounds like Keanu Reeves. It sounds like Keanu Reeves and Bill and Ted's. It's just about climate change. Don't you believe in the science? Because President Obama presided over the largest expansion of oil and gas production of any president ever. But he believes in climate change. You have to believe in climate change, dude. Don't make me skate all the way to Antarctica to prove you wrong. Because I will. I'm Beto. I'm running in 2020. Could you imagine? Did you imagine Beto O'Rourke and Trump debating? Oh my God. That would be. Thank you, the coyote. Thank you. That would be amazing. Because it would be like, wrong. Look at this clown. And Beto would be like, Mr. Trump, you have been so mean to people. You've been rude. You don't believe in the climate change. You have had the audacity to bring home Americans from conflicts and wars. You should be ashamed of yourself. You've created such chaos and mayhem. And Trump would just be like, we've done this, we've done that. You're so wrong. You're so wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You're so wrong. Okay, look at this guy. Look at this. Okay, wrong. Why don't you go to ride a skateboard? I can't do a Trump, but it's like the best Trump I can do. But it's like, Bruce Tamazuski. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, HA, to you and your family in chat. Bill and Ted ruined every Keanu movie because that voice. Yeah, Bruce Tamazuski, thank you. Bruce Tamazuski. Yeah, you know what was great? The Devil's Advocate. That's one of my all-time best favorite movies. Al Pacino. Bruce Tamazuski, Merry Christmas, thank you. Luke St. Martin. I'm sure Beto knows how to say, I feel your pain. Luke St. Martin, yeah. Luke St. Martin, thank you for just being a great moderator, and thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Eric H526, Merry Christmas. And yeah, he's like, I feel your pain, dude. Yo filo your paino. My name is Beto. I wonder if Beto O'Rourke speaks Spanish. Does he? He might. But they're all like, that's the whole thing. Like the left is like intersectionality and identity politics. And, oh, who's your next candidate? Well, he's a white man with a Mexican nickname or a Spanish nickname. Oh, Beto. Okay. Well, that's good. Like I said, Sima Hernandez is a Latina. Great woman. I interviewed her. A Latina. And they picked a white guy with a Spanish nickname. That's the Democrats for you. That's the Democrats for you. So, and I just, today, for example, I didn't log on to Twitter. I feel so good. I'm rolling with 600 people on my live stream. I didn't even share it on Twitter. So why do I need Twitter? Facebook, I'm gone from. Deactivated that one. Okay. That one was just like, it was like, that was a weird experience because Facebook, I was like on like 500 Bernie groups. And then I was like, hey, I'm a Trump supporter now. So then I joined Trump groups and they were really nice to me. The Trump people were, it was great. But then like I had like disgruntled like people who read my work, Bernie, and they're like, oh, you're crazy now. We hate you. And then like some people still like me. It's just, there's nothing good about social media other than YouTube. Even Instagram. It's like, I'm not on Instagram. I know like all the young people are on Snapchat and Instagram. But you should. I watch the channels on YouTube. There's one hilarious guy. There's one, I forgot his name. But he clowns all the Instagram fitness people. And then there's like arguments about photoshopped bodies. Look, when you put human beings together in one space, you're going to get more animosity than you will cooperation or happiness. If you shove them into one space, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, because context is not there. There is no context. If I write "What's wrong with you" on a keyboard, I mean that could be the beginning of a conflict right there. Whereas if I was going to say, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" Come on. If I were to say that, you'd be like, "Oh, it's not that bad." But if you read "What's wrong with you," it's like, "What do you mean? What's wrong with me? This is my opinion on politics and life. You trying to say that I have a mental issue? Okay, it's on." And then you write, and it goes, it's not, social media is not, people are like, "Oh, this is so great to spread news." If you have a YouTube channel, this is, fantastic. I get to speak to people and I get to share my thoughts. I write, if I'm published in the Daily Caller, if I'm published in, in the Jerusalem Post, people will know. People will know. Even if you're selling a product, you still like, I don't know. I'm just really seriously thinking of deactivating my Twitter, and I think I will eventually. I'm leaning towards that. So this guy actually did the best thing possible for me. He did the best thing. Rhonda Reynolds, thank you. Then I'm like, oh, should I start an Instagram? But then like a Facebook owns it, so I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. How much money does Facebook get from selling your information? Facebook. Facebook's still cashing in on user data as sales surge. Facebook cashes in on user data. Mark Zuckerberg. So this guy he just makes money off. I mean, they even try to get people's medical records. They try to get people's medical records. Hold on one second. I'll tell you right now. I mean, that's evil. Facebook Building 8 explored data sharing agreements with hospitals. What does that mean? Facebook sent a doctor on a secret mission to ask hospitals to share patient data. What? This is CNBC. Facebook was in talks with top hospitals and other medical groups as recently as last month about a proposal to share data about the social network of their most vulnerable patients. Oh my God. April 5th, 2018, Christina Farr, CNBC. Wow. Facebook said the project is on hiatus so it can focus on other important work. Hiatus means massive, massive lawsuits. Massive, 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 massive lawsuits. Facebook has asked several major U.S. hospitals to share anonymized data about their patients, such as illnesses and prescription info, for a proposed research project. It's just a research project. Nothing wrong with that. Well, if it's a research project, here, go ahead. Here's the information on herpes and um, everything else. Joking. Facebook was intended to match it up with user data it had collected. What? What? And help the hospitals figure out which patients might need special care or treatment. Oh, that's so nice of Facebook. I'm going to cry now because they're so nice. They were going to help the hospitals. Facebook was intending to match it up with user data it had collected and help the hospitals figure out which patients might need special care or treatment. Well, that is just so nice because the hospitals couldn't figure it out themselves. They needed Facebook to help. Okay. Sarah Ann Rapp. I don't know. Let me see. I've never heard of that though. Let's see. So gotta check it out. Research project. The proposal never went past the planning phases. Gee, you think? After the Cambridge Analytica data leak scandal. Meanwhile, like Facebook and Twitter, they're like conduits for poor Hillary to lose. What happened in the undercover operation? Oh my God. So it's just Facebook is still thirsty for your health data. I thank God I deleted my Facebook. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I mean, like, for what? For cat photos? For arguments? For threats? I had to go to the LAPD with like a Twitter profile, and because of the algorithm, like, unless you use the F word or like if you use profanity, the algorithm on Twitter is like, well, that's no. The guy called me a lunatic. I had to respond, and then, oh my God, I'm the bad guy. Facebook is still thirsty for your health data. Gizmodo. Facebook already had a veritable treasure trove of data on anyone who uses the site, including stuff users do not do on the web including stuff users do on the web outside of it. How does that work? I guess. Well, yeah. I mean, if you have your Facebook on, it still has per CNBC, Facebook's head of health research to share health insights with medical providers still thinks that combining that kind of information. Why would you want that? Why would you want that? That's not. It's not good. This is ridiculous. So there you go. I mean, it's never ending. It's never ending. Larry Gork, hello. Eric H526 is awesome. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, there's no evidence. They're not going to get anything. They're not going to get anything on Trump. There's no evidence. There's no evidence. There's no evidence of anything. There's no evidence. And that's it. There's just no evidence. There's no link, but there is a link to Hillary Clinton transferring top secret intelligence outside the United States government. cash flowed into the Clinton Foundation amid the Russian uranium deal. They're like, oh, no, you can't prove anything. Meanwhile, Donald Trump Jr. meets with a Russian lawyer. There you go. There you go. There's the proof you need. It's like, where's the logic? Where's the flawed logic in this insane viewpoint? Where's the flawed logic? Nice. Flan is the best. So yeah, I'm just gonna, ask for the email addresses of the people I speak with on Twitter, because I can still DM people. But it's like, let me log on right now and see what. It's just the same thing. Like I even feel, like I have to log on now. Ugh. I like talking to my friends, but other than that. Thank you. Ram Lafara, thank you so much. Sorry to see Aging was banned for 7 days. He's a wonderful human being. Oh, this human being is absolutely wonderful. I will be deactivating my account in protest of the ban in particular. See you all in a week. Ram Lafara, thank you so very, very much for standing in solidarity with me. That is breathtaking, beautiful. Thank you so very, very much, Ramla, for always watching and for your kindness and support and friendship. Thank you. That's really wonderful. I just saw this right now. And nobody has to do that, obviously, but thank you. That's just so nice and so wonderful. Yeah, got banned for 7 days. I might actually deactivate the whole thing. But Ramla Farah, thank you so very much. And Happy New Year. And God bless you and your family. And thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny that it's kind of funny it's kind of funny that so I'm looking at my the only thing is my DMs. My DMs. So I just get email addresses. And then I guess I could share my videos if I ever need to through email. But it is just I'm looking at the news on there's just nothing good, especially just because in politics. Like what is really good in here? Even in sports, people are arguing all the time. Like sports is supposed to be I'm supposed to be happy. Can I get happiness from sports? No, apparently not. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen. So Ramla Farah, thank you again. Very, very, very kind of you. Say hello to my buddy Sean. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's just I'm looking at the negativity on Twitter. It's like, and I'm not the most positive person in the world, to tell you the truth. I'm really not. Tina Bobina. Even if you ditch Facebook, you are on suspended animation. Yeah, I know. I agree with you, because they're like, Tina Bobina, you're 100% right, because they're like, if you delete it, you can always come back. That's like in my head too, because I'm like, deactivate, and they're like a message pop up. You can always come back with the same password. You can always come back. You can always come back. Oh, I think it's a different password. You can always come back. We're always there for you. Facebook's always there for you. I'm like, oh my God. Swivel hips. Fire Twitter. You don't have to take that. Yes, swivel hips. I think I'm going to. I just have to. I usually make rash decisions very oftentimes. Oh, by the way, since I'm building my Second Amendment channel, everyone do me a big favor. Well, it's not, you don't have to, but I'll be at the range soon. And if you can just share, I think you'll all enjoy. I don't know if you've seen this before, but this is my 500 Smith & Wesson 10.5-inch barrel revolver. Talking about the firearm, obviously. And here is to share that segment, and it's really fun. It's actually a very rare, somewhat rare firearm. I mean, it's really not many out there. Really not many out there. And it's 50 caliber round for design, for the revolver. And check it out. Check it out. You'll like it. Tina Bobina, you're awesome. Have a great day. Rumi, you'd be surprised. Well, if you watch the see, the thing is, the barrel's so long that it soaks all a lot of the recoil. That's the thing. It's so the shorter it is, like there was a 357 Kimber. It's like a 3-inch or 2.5-inch barrel that like there's a kick that that I felt 357, but the barrel soaks up a lot of the recoil. So the longer the barrel, the more it'll soak up the recoil. Not always, because yeah, generally. I actually shot a Ruger Super Red Hawk 9.5-inch also on my channel, and that had a real pretty big kick. But it wasn't like the Performance Center Smith & Wesson. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back. Here is that again you might enjoy. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back. God bless. You have a fantastic day. To my super chat, thank you. Swivel Hips, thank you. Rumi Samuel, thank you. Everyone, thank you. I shall return. Have a great, great day. Thank you.